Episode 88, boys. Now, in Tony's trying to remember his bingo terminology because, Tone, I know that you're one of the young whippersnappers of the group and you don't mind a game of bingo, but what do we say, 88, mate?
88, two fat ladies, isn't it?
Hey, can we say that nowadays? Taz,
Something like that.
Taz,
No.
can we say that nowadays?
No, you can't. What you can say is a fat lady looking at herself in a mirror.
Oh.
Oh, right. You can't say two fat ladies.
Okay.
No, two. That's we're affecting more people. But if we just say one looking in a mirror, we're only offending one person.
Now, I know the world has gone absolutely mental the other day because I saw Muhammad Ali, Tony, slap a comedian and the comedian was still standing. I don't think that would have happened if Muhammad Ali had jabbed someone. Tone, you're all over the Will Smith, Christopher Rock, mate. What do you think about that, big boy?
Me?
You're all over it.
Okay.
I know you're a big Academy Award fan.
Actually, I didn't see it. So
What?
Yeah. I said to Tone yesterday in the car, we're going out to his grandma's and that. I'm like, how about that Will Smith? And he goes, nah, didn't come on my horizon.
I don't watch a lot of that rubbish. There's other things to do and busy and, like.
Do you know that he grew up though in a household where his mother was subjected to beatings and all that sort of stuff?
Right.
And I think it's
there's a sad history to it.
Yeah, and I think it's one of his biggest regrets. So I guess with that, doing that role, and then for Chris Rock to bag his wife like that,
Right.
it probably was just a lot of emotions and unresolved issues.
Yeah.
But was there a little bit of play acting in it? I don't know.
That's the conspiracy theories. They all reckon it was set up. They reckon Rock was already leaning back when the slap was coming in. It was really funny because he laughed at the joke. And then he looks over at old Jada Pinkett Smith and she's just giving him the devils. And Tone, we married a couple of Japanese girls and, when I first met my Japanese wife and I would have went to war with her eyes because they were fucking phenomenal, I thought, totally exotic and got me to do anything that she wanted me to do without even fucking mentioning a word. All she would do is look at me with those eyes and I'd be, fuck, shit, So I can understand old Jada giving Will the eyes and he's just going up and going bangity bang. But fucking bizarre. It's a bizarre world.
Makes milk curdle,
But the worst thing is, the worst thing is, Tone, he wins the best supporting actor for being a fucking idiot dad. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, I saw it, yeah.
Like an idiotic, fucking crazy, fanatical fart, like an absolute lunatic. And he did that, half an hour before he won the award. And it's a bizarre world we live in, mate. Don't worry about the sports world. Don't worry about the horses of the GGs. Holy shit. And you know what I blame, Taz? COVID.
Go on. No. Well, how can you can't blame
COVID is the blame of everything in the world. And I don't care what anyone says. Even my feeling recently is affected by COVID just because I went for a health check, which is really scary. And I'm really anxious about doing that, especially with Warnie passing away at 52 and I'm 48. Yeah. But I went there the other day and they were just all COVID paranoid. I was wearing a mask and I'm in a clinic to get a health check. And Tone, I felt like I was discriminated against because I couldn't speak Japanese perfectly. I felt like a criminal. And all I wanted to do was get a health check so I could get a bloody new job. So I think the world's crazy because of COVID.
But Pezza, can I just say something about COVID?
Oh.
I mean, no, of course not. I mean, Sarah, my partner's been in hospital for a week.
Right.
Now, last night, my son, 11-year-old, was FaceTiming his mother saying, why can't I come in, Mummy? Why can't I come in? Why don't they let me in? So here we are. She's at the hospital, and I've been there a week, and the kids under 18, the hospital policy is you can't go in. I get that you've got to be triple vaxxed as an adult because that's a rule, right or wrong, but that's their rule. But kids. So I'm thinking when I was having this discussion, I said to them, so what you're telling me is that everyone that works in this hospital, they probably don't have kids. They probably don't even go to the supermarket and they probably don't go out for dinner. They do none of that, but they do then come back into work. And I'm like, so why can't I allow my child? My child, wants to see his mother. And you're telling me that as a nurse, as a doctor, as a physician, as an orderly, you don't have kids that you're with every single day, and then you go into the hospital. It is a crazy, crazy,
It's horrendous, and I
Yeah.
think
It's crazy,
now.
crazy.
So hearts to hearts and hands to hands. Me and Taz nearly got into a fight before about the footy and Corona. Now, you know, the Carlton flogs are all up and about, and they're already getting paid out on fucking top 4 and top 8 from Sportsbet, Tone. They're already in the
Flag
queue.
favourites.
Yeah, flog favourites. That's what I should say.
No.
Flog favourites. Now, I can't believe Stephen Harney, aka the Razor's Edge. I don't know how the fuck he's a flog, but I don't know. But anyway, last week my club got their first win, and I was over the moon. And I'm in a North Melbourne supporters group online on Facebook, and it's fucking horrendous because the worst people in the world are North Melbourne supporters, and I'm one of them. But I was over the moon thinking that we'd won by 15 points. Couldn't give a shit who we played. If it was the Waffle seconds, don't care. Because for me, COVID is like injuries. And if you got injuries, no one cares. And if you got COVID, well, bad luck. Fuck, that's the world we live in. And I'm sure that no one's going to have any sympathy for North if we've got 15 out because of COVID. But then we'll get all the memes saying, oh, don't worry, that's their regular team anyway. You know, like, so, you know, I don't really give a shit. But I think Taz was saying that there's got to be a way that we can fix that, though, that we're not playing a team with 14 debutants or people under 14 with under 6 games is just ridiculous. But there's got to be some type of point system or some type of, you know, the Charles Duckworth-Lewis system we could bring in to make it fairer, surely.
Look,
somehow.
Look, you're right. I think so too. But at the end of the day, what I don't agree with is they can make different rules for the women's game and different rules for the men's game. And if we're talking about a politically correct world that we live in, okay, where women are after equality and stuff, well, then the AFL have got something to think about, because why should you then suspend women's games and not men's?
Yep.
So at the end of the day, Pezzy, you're probably right, because if a team's got 15 injuries, they then have to go in to the reserves and then into the local leagues. And whether it's COVID or it's a hamstring or a heartstring, because a lot of those North Melbourne players lack a little bit of a heartstring, then so be it.
We're hard as cat's heads, the North boys. But I just think it's retarded that, you know, you tested positive for COVID, but you're asymptomatic. You got no, but you can't. You know, that's the world we're in, aren't we? Yeah. Because if you're asymptomatic but you test positive, how would you know that you were positive if you didn't have that test, which the AFL players have to take on a regular basis or a daily basis? So if they weren't an AFL footballer, they would have played, because no one would have had a RAT test or a PCR test before they played a game of footy anywhere in Australia. But they took a test, they tested positive, they got no symptoms whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's not going to agree, like if they're going to pass it to someone and they're not going to have the same experience. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there's got to be a way that you could equalise. For example, every player's like a dream team or a fantasy. We all have our fantasy footy. Everyone's worth a certain amount of money, and that's the cap that we're going to put on the field. I know that's really layman's terms, but I don't think it was fair last week on West Coast or Adam Smith, who's trying to fight for a job, that he's got to go through that. And I'm not in the camp where too, like I know Taz wants to postpone the game, and I don't want to do that, because then, you know, you sort of, I don't know. For me, it's not a good thing, postponing games, making up games at a later stage, because then who would have thought, you know, North might be on a roll now, Tassie. We might be one in a row and let's go.
But I don't agree with that, because it's not like it's a horse and they needed the run. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Leading up into the next run. We're talking about, you know, a group of 20 adults, 20 grown men. They do it in the EPL. They do it in the local leagues here at the round ball code with the soccer here. I reckon they could do it. I'm not saying they will, and I'm sure there's logistics that have got to take place because it's a 22-week season and they've got to factor a couple of extra weeks. But I think it could be done if they had a little bit of this. Someone could sit down and make some concrete rules and think it through. But I don't think they did because they were thinking what a lot of people were thinking. COVID been gone, done, over.
Yeah, I don't think they thought it's going to come up in round 2. That the team's going to be decimated because of COVID. And West Coast are toxic at the moment, I think. And I don't know, Tone. I don't know, mate. But I don't know. Do you let them play? I don't know. You know, what do you do? I got no idea, mate. But
if you postpone the game, then it might be the opposite later on, where West Coast has got a fully fledged side and North's got nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
And it could be a key game too. And
then what do you do? Do you give both teams 2 points? You just say, well, we'll cancel the game, we'll let it go, and here's 2 points each, and well done. And it's horror. It's horrendous. And I just thought the AFL would be a little bit more over it, to tell you the truth. But of course, just like Buddy kicking his thousands, I was really claustrophobic watching that because I was thinking the poor bastard's got no one around him. And and what about the pandemic? The pandemic didn't see one person with a mask. Like there was 10,000 people surrounding him. Like,
could you imagine like the Swans this week? Buddy's out because guess what? Buddy's asymptomatic.
Absolutely. Like I was expecting it, and I think the AFL's dodged a massive bullet that Sydney basically there were no sort of things on the ground that went wrong, which could have been a million things. And then, of course, the whole team doesn't have COVID because of the non-social distancing, blah, blah, blah.
But it was pretty good, though.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. I didn't think I'd be so emotional about it, to tell you the truth, because I've never been a huge Buddy man, but fuck, it was good. It was awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I like Buddy. I do like Buddy.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about the footy, Tone. Let's get into the race.
Yep.
Now, Tone, we're going to look at the last few weeks, mate, and you've sort of been flying the flag a little bit. Well, not really, but Tassie's had a couple of winners. He's had about 2 from 6. Pez has just put a line through. Pez, sorry, boys, I'm trying to, what am I looking at now? I'm trying to get us a little bit bigger, Tone.
Just make sure you get the right stuff up. Those are not the stuff that you watch.
That's right.
Watching.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's the what do you call that, Tone? That's the
that's the issue. That's
the big issue. Lucky there was a little bit of cricket on there and not a couple of www.japanese-girls.com or something. Anyway, boys, episode 87. Tone, as I was trying to say, mate, I think you've gone 5 out of 6 for places.
Yeah, well, you know, getting sort of there, but, you know, not hitting the bullseye, but being sort of close recently. I think this was the closest one out of the placings, though. That was closest to the winner, wouldn't you say? I mean,
yeah, she was a couple of lengths, but the others were a bit, but you're going all right. But just as you said, like a Saturday, we get one chance to throw out a winner, and basically 50%. We're either right or wrong. And Alias was a good run on the Monday, 4th. If you were really smart, you would have watched last week's show. And the Razor, Steve-O from the Razor's Edge, he actually tipped the first 4 in 4, and they paid thousands because President won at 20 skins, and the second placer was the favourite, and then he had a bit of a roughie, and then he had Alias, which was rough for 4th. So he's tipped the first 4 in 4. So well done. That was race 1 at Newcastle on Monday. Well done, Steve-O. Fangirl. I hope some people read between the lines and realised my gushing about Fangirl last week was legit, because I actually had a little futures bet on her for the All-Star Mile, but unfortunately she didn't get down here. I thought a 3-year-old was going to win something, and gee, she could be anything, this girl. Don't worry about Espiona. Fangirl's the girl. She was amazing. Well done. Mr. Larrabee, not good. Taz, what happened?
Well, it was chaos. Chaos took over. That's what happened. Look, settled right out the back. Didn't really come on. The only positive, and it's not a great one, is I said I think it'll finish in front of that Margot thing, the favourite,
Yeah,
and it did.
it did.
Now the fact that they probably finished, I don't know, 7th and 12th or something like that. It's
No,
still,
I'll tell you what happened. You finished 7th of 8th, and that finished 8th.
there you go. So I got it right. So I did get that part of it right.
You
Didn't
did get it right. You did.
I?
Um,
Yeah, it was a very, very disappointing run. And then I noticed that it was a dual acceptor actually the following day. Had I seen that, it would have made me think about going for it. But I was a bit underprepared. I did
you had
think
a
it was
busy
10,
week.
and
Miss it. Yep.
yeah, I did. But no excuses. At the
No.
end of the day, chaos reigned. That's all I'll say.
We grabbed the first 3 legs of the quaddie. It wasn't that hard, was it, Tone? It was five in the second fave. And then Tassie couldn't find his gemstone in the last. I don't know why, but it was only 20 skins and hasn't won for 2 years. But
Yeah,
Look, it was actually one of my
Madness.
picks. I seriously never considered it.
really,
I never considered it.
me too.
Absolutely. How could you?
no,
If I'd have picked that, and I think I said this to you guys in the chat,
Yeah.
anyone that
Yeah.
picked or found that horse,
Yeah,
seriously, has got no idea about racing.
perfect. Now, talking about people with no idea about racing, I think they've found a beauty in Steve-O. Now, last week, Razor was on the show, aka Stephen Harney, and he tipped us to in a couple of futures. He in Fangirls race, he said there's a horse down the bottom paying 20 skins. I don't think it's going to win this week, but it's going to be very, very competitive in the Oaks. And it came 5th. It was a huge run. And of course, Rory Hutchings, one of the best, whatever they call analysts, come out and said, holy shit, is this going to be hard to beat in the Oaks? And then he said, oh, by the way, there's another horse running around, Shiraz, in the Dua race or whatever. And then the little lad Villa jumps off and says, the grand finals of Sydney Cup. We're going to be cherry right. We're going to go up from our 224 to 32 and hoof on the till. So well done, Razor. Thank you, mate. And
Can I just also thank Razor for something else that he's done to us?
Okay.
Because the first time he was on the show, he's tipped us some horses
Yeah.
and they got scratched.
All scratched. Yeah.
This time he was on the show, he's outdone it.
Yeah.
He's outdone everything because the meeting got called off.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to when we've got him back on to see what he can do because he moves mountains.
He moves race tracks.
Oh.
there was that
the whole
much money
lot.
already selected. They had to cancel the meeting.
Yeah, he tipped us one last week too, Old Stars and Cream, and it was a pretty honest second, but the winner was looks a little bit special over in New Zealand. But thanks, Rays. And don't worry, Rays he tipped 2 legs of the quaddie last week when he should have only tipped 1, and he got the winners in both legs. And he got, as I said, the first 4 in the race 1 in Newcastle. So he's up tonight in the quaddie. But don't worry about the quaddie, Tassie, because it's all about you, big boy. What do we got?
We're going for the Fister. And the Fister's back, and I've had a good look this time. And I'm going back to my favourite Eagle Farm. I do like the Queensland State. I do like the bananas up there as well. And I'm going with race 7, number 1, Release the Beans. So you know what? Release them.
Release the Kraken tone.
Yeah, release the Kraken. There we go.
Seriously,
For me, it sounds a
cracking.
bit spermy tone. It sounds a little bit
Mate, no,
spermy.
this one
Release
will be
the
more like
jism.
it'll be more like baked beans. It's
Oh,
just going to
release the
explode.
baked beans.
Oh,
gonna
wine skillers
explode.
baked beans. Oh dear. There we go.
Yeah.
Look, its form is really, really good. On the track, I think it's had 4 runs. It's not missed a place. Track and distance, same sort of thing. It hasn't missed. It's had 2 months off since its last run, so it's freshened up. But if you look back to the start with the donut there, that was actually a group race on the Gold Coast there. And there was a pretty impressive horse by the name of King of Sparta going round. And another one in that same race, that Mimi Legrand, who actually
yeah.
starts favourite on Saturday in the last
in Sydney. That's right.
Yeah. So
J-Mac on, Tone. J-Mac on.
At 6 to 1, Release the Beans. I think
I like
the
it.
favourite, that Zumi California, is the wrong price, and I think this is the wrong price. I think we are over the odds, and Zumi California is under the odds. We should be favourite. We're not, but we will win. I hope so.
Perfect.
Perfect. I like it. Release the jizz, and we will when she comes storming down. It's going to be a beautiful watch with the Release the Beans. Now, Razor couldn't be on the show tonight, but the Peaky Blinder, he sent us in a tip for tomorrow night, Tassie. Tony, they're racing around at Cranbourne. That's tomorrow.
There we go.
So he said he's got a little sneaky Sistine Explorer, absolutely destroyed the clock in a trial last start, ran under 50 seconds. I'm not sure for how long, but he said horses don't run under 50 seconds in a trial over 10 yards. I don't know how long it was. I think he told me, but I forgot. But it broke the clock. So this is first up, obviously improved. Scumbag Holland on for old Nobby. He said we're giggling at 350. So
I love anti-post bets because tomorrow's Friday, November 1st.
Yeah.
I love the anti-post bets.
Yes. He said get on now because tomorrow it'll be even
It's
money.
Friday, November 1st, big boy.
Yes.
November 1st.
November 1st, big boy.
Oh, shit.
Ah, there we go.
Do you know why, Pezza? Tell him why you did it.
Oh,
Because it's
April Fool's, Tone.
There we go.
Well, I didn't, but it works out all right. Thanks, Tess.
Do you know what I like about this tip more than anything else?
What's that?
Other than its form?
Yeah.
It's on Friday.
It's number 11.
Oh, yes.
Legs 11. There we go.
Number 11, mate. We know how we love the 11 here. You know how it's my favourite number.
Oh, yeah, 11. Now, Tone.
We won't talk about that one.
Tone, there's a horse in race 7 called General Firestone, and that's about the same price. Really good horse. Won a jump out at Flemington. Been waiting for it to turn up for 3 weeks. 2 horses are placed that it beat. So I reckon having the General Firestone, one of Tassie's favourites in the Chautauqua colours.
Ooh, love it.
Ooh.
Geordie Child's on, and into Sistine Explorer will get you back 11, 12 to 1. So good on you.
Oh,
like
yeah, but the Geordie Child surprise baby. Oh, sorry, but
Well, Surprise Baby's in Sydney this week, big boy. He's up at Randwick.
It is.
Good thing Geordie Child isn't on it.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, you could be right. There's a little starter, a little taster to start the weekend, eh?
Little starter, little heart starter, big boy. Now let's get into it. What a day of racing. Now, Taz, will we be running Saturday at Randwick on a heavy 10?
Yes.
I like you. Okay, good.
Yes, we will.
Okay, good. Tone?
Cool. Yep.
You've got the first race, big boy. Now, this is just the Derby. And
yes, an extremely difficult race, isn't it? But yeah, it looks like the top weight's the goods here. It should win.
right.
Hitotsu, but gee, it is a tough race. I do like Regal Lion. Character, I think's in with a big show too. Likes the wet. I think there's a few in this. If you look through it, they're not quite. They're a query at the distance, aren't they? If you have a good look through.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
The
Yes.
Ruffy is with my girl on, Jamie Carr. Can't go wrong. A little bit of Chinese pangolin in there, but it could knock them all off.
Wow.
If
Can't go
anything's
wrong.
going to knock off the Hitotsu, go Japan, it will be Can't Go Wrong.
It's
But
interesting,
it-
Tone. You put a line through Casterly Kit. You just don't think it can win after braining a few this campaign.
Mate, look, I could put another 10 in, but
Right.
you know,
I've got a
you've got to
sneaky.
draw the line somewhere. You know?
I've got a sneaky
Jen?
too.
Who you go
Huh?
first, Pezza, and I'll tell you who mine is.
Benno was a Pez's push last year.
Yeah.
And when it ran to that good Profondo, that good horse. And I jumped on Benno at about 51 skins. It's been a long wait and it's into 14. So it's obviously getting to the right distance. And, you know, it came a dodgy fourth last start tone. It's into 14 skins, but I'm on at 51s, mate. So that's the
Good luck.
That's
Good luck.
the prayer.
Good luck.
I do wish you well, Pezza.
Yep.
But if you're going to throw in another roughie, in my opinion, my roughie is down the bottom there, number 17, and it's called Sea Treasures.
Oh, Bjorny.
And it's
Kiwi
good in the
Soul.
wet. It's good in the wet. And it's a So You Think horse
Oh,
as well.
Oh.
And I just like personally, I'm a bit like you guys. I think it's probably Hitotsu's race, in my opinion.
yes.
But I'm throwing in the 17 as me Smoky. But how much am I putting on? Probably, maybe not even a gold coin, maybe a silver coin. But yeah, I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it to see what it does.
It's interesting with Hitotsu because, of course, Hitotsu's the boom horse that won the VRC Derby last. Absolutely brained him, Tone. And it's never gone the Sydney way, so it'll be interesting to see. That's probably why we're getting $3.60 and not $1.80.
Yes, that is one point. Very good point.
Because you never know if they're going to run on the right leg and do all that sort of thing. And a heavy 10, you probably you can't tip them all. But good luck for Benno and Hitotsu. We'll talk about now. Pezza, I've gone pretty safe here. I've got numbers 1, 2, and 6. I love the idea of Shelby 66 just beating these superstar, top-rated sprinters in the world, like a horse that got beaten at the Sunshine Coast or somewhere like 6 starts ago. And so I love the Shelby 66 story, and I love Tommy Berry. Did you see what he came out during the week and tweeted?
Oh, that it could be a chance again.
No, he came out and he said, "Geez, we've had a spell. How good are we going to be first up?"
Yeah.
He's had a 1 week spell, Tone. 1 week. Tone, he ran like 11 weeks in a row, yeah? So he's had a week off and he said we're first up from his spell.
Oh, my God. He's got the heart of Flow Meter.
He's got the heart of Flow Meter, right? 191 starts and he gets his 20th win. Oh, there's old mate there.
Archie's come up here. Can you see?
There he is. Archie, get away from the chocolate.
Dogs on the telly. If I could, I would throw Mars Crusader. I think going back to the Sydney leg, it's going to be a lot better. And of course, last year, who could remember that they ran a massive third in this race when it come from Zutori was last, and this scene was second last and made up many, many lengths. And Zutori ran home for a good fourth actually last year in this race.
Good race, though.
You can't knock Nature Shepherd, Eduardo. I'll just start up now because I'm talking too long. Tassie, you've got 2, 3, 7, 10 and 16, and you don't mind Dallasan as a roughie.
Yeah, look, I've left it out from the quaddie because you just can't throw too many in. But if you've got plenty and you're looking for that extra one, throw it in.
Right.
But I'm thunderstruck. I think it's had the perfect preparation.
Yep.
It's fourth run in. I think that if they're coming from behind, you've just got to include it. Private Eye, pretty much again, another back marker. Another one that loves the wet, but it it really needs the pace on, and it might find that with Ellsberg, who's the other one I've put in, who I think will probably, when they're coming around the turn, it's the one that they're going to be thinking, is he going to kick? Is he going to come back to them?
Yeah.
Are they going to go past him? What's going to happen? But I think you can't not put it in. Ice Bath, I don't know. I just fourth run in again, and I know it loves the Sydney way of racing. I know it's had
came second
sort of
last
gone
year.
here and
came
there.
second in the Doncaster.
Yeah, and it was a good run. Is it going as good as what it was last year? I don't know.
I don't think so, but
Omen.
Your favourite's on it.
Yes,
Huh?
yes, I do love it. Don't say that to me. But the Omen bet is Jamie Carr going back to the future on Forbidden Love.
Oh,
So last year We know how Jamie got caught up in a little bit of
Oh,
forbidden love at the Airbnb.
oh,
And
yeah.
now she rides forbidden love. Could it be the dream and the story? But it is a hard race. There's a lot of horses in it. Archie's trying to tip me into a winner. I don't know what he's doing here, but
Yeah, he's,
there
he's
might-
telling you. He's
there
telling you,
might-
no, Dad.
yeah,
Tone, I know you're a big fan of Jamie, as we all are on Polty, and she's riding at 50 kegs. Wowee.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, she's nice little weight there.
She came
That's
out during the
all
week,
good.
Tone, and they said, geez, you're going to struggle to get the 50 kegs. And she turned around and said, well, I'm riding at 51 now. So she's light, Tony.
Oh, light,
Sorry.
lovely,
You could
boys, I'm
pick-
just on the move.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on the move only because I think the dog wants to go out, and that's why it was knocking on me.
Oh, he
So
wants
I'm
to come out, visit
Yep.
the
So,
backyard.
so he does talk. So I'm just going to bring him out and see if he does.
No,
So I'm on the move.
Oh, no, Tassie,
Come.
no, you got to do what you got to do there. And yeah, I'm
He's
just saying,
gone.
Tone he often thinks about Jamie's weight.
Yes, yeah, she's getting down to the right weight. You know, yeah,
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
to see.
What a race though, Tone, the Doncaster.
Oh.
I love the Epsom. I love the Doncaster. You can have your All-Star miles for me. There's always a story that comes out, and there'll be one written again this Saturday afternoon. Hopefully, we get the race away and there's no more rain for the poor bastards in New South Wales. But
Yes,
yeah, great race. Of course, last year Cascadian wins the race with Jamie in the saddle. This year she going back to back, and we all know how Jamie likes to go back to back.
Well, there you go. There's another story in itself.
Right. Razor from Stephen Harney from the Razor's Edge. He's got numbers 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 13. We're not going to talk too much about it because Razor's Razor, probably one of the worst races you could possibly tip into. 6-1 the field. This is the perfect 6-1 the field. I'm really keen. It was nearly going to be Malpesa's push. Was number 7, Me Lagarde. Like, what a horse, what a filly coming down from Brisbane. And I tell you what, she just missed in the Magic Millions from barrier 18
It
in
was
the
a
big
huge
$1
run.
million race. And she's drawn the car park again. Who knows what's going to happen? Only Mardo knows the track conditions of Ramwick. So Mardo, please tell us in the comments what's going to happen. Because if they're going to be coming from behind, I tell you what, she won't be $6.50. She'll be about $1.10 because she screams home.
Pezza, do you
Yes.
reckon
absolutely.
if the beans goes bang,
Oh,
me might go?
I'm going to
bull
load up.
bang?
If the
Bang? What do you
beans,
reckon?
if the chocolatey, if the spoiler alert, if the beans
Yeah.
goes bang,
Yep.
Pez I'm doubling down on me.
Let it ride.
Let it
Richard
parlay.
DeFrayis.
Parlay.
Richard DeFrayis, let it ride.
I'm going to have my 50 cents on yours. I'm going to get my $3 onto that.
Oh, huge.
That's
What's
my
that word?
favourite
I
time in the
fucking-
casino. I love it.
I
when
can
you
wish
get
I
that
bet
double
50
down.
Hang on,
cents.
hang on.
I fucking
Pezza.
wish.
50 cents, that's a full unit for you, isn't it?
Oh, I wish it was. I tell you what, it saved me thousands. Any boys you keen? I'm keen on the 7. Lukey Nolan for Peter Moody on the 6. I like the idea. Try to get on Lukey coming up to Sydney again. What a race! Wow.
I think the one that I'm tempted to put in there, I know we all like Mallory, but is the 12. Last start it wasn't too bad.
Smooth over, huh?
Pike. Yeah, I don't think it was that bad a start. The start
Mm.
before that, it was here at Mooney Valley and it couldn't get out. And last week, I reckon it did it a bit hard. It'll just
Yeah.
be interesting. Be interesting, that's all.
I think Pike in the last is sort of becoming a thing too.
Well,
I
I
think
hope so,
he
but-
rode last week's in the last. He rode the last winner last week. I think he rode one during the week in the last. So maybe the old WA Pike in the last is coming across to NSW. I don't know. Tone, you keen on anything, mate?
No, mate, there's nothing here that really sort of excites me. If I was going to throw something in, I'd have a crack at Give Me Par each way. But
Yeah. I was
number
going to say
6.
you might be keen on Jamie in the last there, Tone. You don't mind a sneaky 5?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that one, no, she doesn't do it for me there. But I'd have a little bit of a crack, give me par each way.
Yeah.
But-
And of course, if Release the Beans form around Mimi Legati in a couple of trials. So if Release the Beans does the job for us, we load up on J-Mac in the last. So $36 gets you back 10%. All right, boys, we'll be back with the titanium tip. And of course, Pez's push that we just put a line through. Just a
Love
moment,
it.
ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Good one.
Welcome back, boys and girls, and of course, our beautiful Rosie, episode 88. We've just gone over the quaddie now, boys. I tell you, it's a little bit expensive this week, the quaddie for 10%. We're going about 36 skins. But holy hell, if we do lucky enough to snag the quaddie this week, we might be able to retire for a couple of weeks' time.
Yes, we could be able to. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be a very nice little wad quad.
The WOD quad, we talk about
WOD
a lot
quad.
and we need one. And I'll tell you what, I think I like the selections this week.
I like them too. Pezzy, you know how you say about retiring for a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
I'm sure a few of our old casino buddies, they watch the show. And I go back, we're going back now 20 years. But I remember the days that we used to get into the pub there.
Mm.
And depending on how much we used to win, would determine whether we'd be actually retiring for that shift.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I
it's like,
remember-
well, I've won 300. I don't need to work. I've
No,
done that.
yeah.
Ring in.
We've done our mathematics and we had a couple of Coles bread rolls in the fridge with a bit of Strasbourg. We didn't have to go to work to eat either. So
That's exactly right.
I remember being at the Fox and Firkin in Cairns, Tone, which was
Oh,
a really cool spot there and used to be, but it's not there now, of course. And I remember I called from the public phone because I was the only cheap. I was that tight that I didn't have a mobile phone. So I called the casino. I was supposed to work in an hour and I called from the pub. And I'm like, hey, one of our mates, Teddy Humbler, answered the phone. He's like, Pez, how you going? And he was the only prick that would actually ask, why are you sick or what's wrong?
Oh, yeah, you would.
Because every other person would just go, okay, no worries. You know, it was just a numbers game to them. They didn't care. But Teddy was like, Pez, you all right? I'm like, no, mate. No, I'm fucked. Where are you, mate? It sounds really busy in the background. Oh, nowhere, mate. Just at home with the telly on. I'm fucked, you know. Within the hour, he was over there and he goes, fucking go to the bar, you fat prick, and buy me a drink. So it cost me fucking heaps that night because I had to pay the boss. I got the boss drunk and so, yeah, anyway, good story, good memory.
He's a good man, Teddy.
Good on you, Teddy. Now, Tone, big man, we're pumped you up at the start of the show. I know you don't like the adulation that Mardo and Taz seem to enjoy.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Right. Well, you're not a tipster without followers, as Mardo told us.
Well, you're right.
yes, that's correct.
And I-
Not a 50 of our followers. Exactly.
Now, Tone, you've gone 5 out of 6 in placings, and we're all going, how good are you? But you're going early this week.
Yes, I'm going early. I've stayed away from the Leyland Brothers goat track down there. I will not go to those country meets down in Vic on a
I
weekend.
know you love a non-metropolitan meeting on a Saturday, the Bendigo Trots this week.
Golly, you know, yeah.
Last week,
Oh,
Mornington, this week, Bendigo.
Oh, no, thank
Bendigo's
you.
a great
Will be
track,
bloody
by the way.
Corong Vale and then
Absolutely.
bought. Nah.
Great track.
I tend to I tend to agree with you. I really rate Bendigo as a track.
So do I. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Yes.
Nice big country track. Hour and a half drive out of Melbourne.
I like the bar.
Good to get on the beers. Plenty of pubs. Great environment. Better loosen up. Sovereign Tune. 2 prominent race horses, both winning races there. One went on to win the Japan Cup. The other, I think, won a Class 1 at Colac. But doesn't matter. Great track, Bendigo.
Well, Tony reckons he's found one for us in race 1, Tony.
Race 1. I've got a special. Race 1, and we're moving up. I'm going on holidays with Taz up north, way up north. absolutely. I've stayed away from Colin Creed State. We're staying away from Pentridge, Melbourne, Victorian country racing. I'm not betting in the pool in the pool up there in Sydney, only for the quaddie, the WOD quad, which we'll get. So I've pretty much got it covered. Definitely, yes. Way up north, dry track, Chocolatier, first race. It's a leader. We've got the Afrikaner on board, ready to go, 850, balls deep at 11, line up and collect. Tassie's cleaning the windows as we speak, probably, with the Windex. And
I love it. I love it. I want to, I just want to eat it up.
beautiful.
I might have to have a chocolate later.
So,
Maybe a Chiquito.
Tone, it's second, fourth, fifth, second, third, fourth. So you think this is the week where we get a number one next to the name?
Yes, well, I was doing a little bit of trying to do a little bit of Tas astrology, but I could never get it right. I had 2 weeks ago, I had a third. Last week was second, so this week's got to be first. Is that right, Tas, or not?
Yeah, I reckon. Look, I like your thinking. I like it a lot. I do like the name. I do think that when they turn, this thing will be right there. It doesn't. It's very hard to go past as well. So I've actually backed it before. So I do like your way of thinking, Tone. Chocolatier. I also like the fact that its form is very similar to yours. So you're both due to break through. So you've done well. Absolutely.
Right. Barrier 3, number 3, race number 1. There we go, big boy. Okay, no more words. I don't know how you found it, but doesn't matter as long as it comes past the post with its head down first, with its nose down. Well done, Tone. I like a Chocolatier and to release the jizz, release the beans. So obviously I went looking for one like cafe or coffee or something to try to get us into a little triangle of love with Chocolatier into release the beans into something. But anyway, I had a couple that I was pretty keen on, boys. I was keen on La Rule in race 4 in Sydney, over the 2,600 metres for the first time, raising up 600 metres. Jamie in the saddle. You know, I know she's going to have a good book of rides there this weekend. Don't worry about it, Jamie. And I just thought it's probably getting about 6.5, 7 kegs off its back that it shouldn't have had for the last couple of starts. So I thought it would be cherry ripe, the UK horse Laurel at about 11 skins. And then I always like Mimi Lagate in the last with J-Mac on board, but I've been going to the last race a little bit too much and it's not been working for me. So, but I tell you what, if Release the Jizz wins with Tas and Chocolatier, holy shit, there's going to be a fair whack put onto Mimi Lagate. I can give you that. And talking about a fair whack, my good friend, Tone. Who's my good friend, Tone? Do you know?
Oh, Barney?
No. I'll give you a hint. Starts with T, ends in as.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Taz just told me. Taz, what did you tell me before the show? Because I was confused going, I don't know which one I like the most.
I said, yeah, if someone gave you $100, what would you do with it? What would you put it on?
And what did I say, Tassie?
You said you'd put it on whatever I told you to put it on. No, you said you'd go with number 1.
And I didn't even breathe, did I? I didn't even breathe.
No, didn't even breathe. You went straight to it. Number 1.
So last week, I should have had Fangirl as my push, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And then I went for the UK horse looking for something that wasn't obviously there yet. And then I thought, well, the best bet for me in Australia this week, if it handles the heavy going in the Sydney track, we're stealing money. Race 7, number 1, Hitotsu in Japanese means only one. And of course, this is the type of horse that it's basically just done is it's only one.
It's a good bet, Pezza.
Good bet. And
it is a good bet.
Johnny Allen going up because he loves the horse, knows the horse. Mar Eustace absolutely winning everything at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's got a couple of stablemates in it with Forgot You and Footlights or whatever, and they're not going to get anywhere near it. So if Forgot You's at 750, this is at 360. I've got no idea how the fuck are we getting 360 in this race. If it was in Melbourne, Tone, of course, would probably be getting $1.80 because we know how
Exactly.
it goes in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
No, it's a smart, like Fezza, it's the right thing to do,
thanks, mate.
because if someone was throwing money at you, you would put it on there. And at the end of the day, when we're doing our tips here, like, yes, we like to be a little bit different. You know, it's easy to tip $1.90 winner and stuff like that. We like to find
Yep.
something with a bit of value.
Yep.
But every now and again, when something is just sticking out, whether it's, you know, $2.80 or $28.50, you've just got to take it. And at $3.60,
Yeah.
shit, there's nothing wrong with that.
No. So Hitotsu,
Exactly.
the best bet in Australia, I think. If it gets through the ground, nothing's going to be beating it in the derby at all. This is a special horse, Tone, and
Yes, absolutely.
it's untapped. So I like a horse like that. 850 to 360 gets back 30 odd skins, not bad. But then we've got our little Yankee. If you throw in Razor's tip for tomorrow night at 350, we'll get you back around 650 for our Yankee.
Beautiful.
That's not including the doubles and the trebles so you're getting close back to $1,000 for your 11 skins. Absolutely on fire. I love it.
Perfect.
Look, and if you really want, I mean, you know, there's the footy, so you could throw in Carlton. I don't know who North's playing, so just back whoever North's playing.
We're playing the Lions up at the Gabba, so
So
hoping,
you're done.
hoping for COVID. Really hoping for COVID in Queensland, and then we could maybe play the Southport Sharks, but they're probably a bit strong. So I wouldn't mind going up to Cairns to play the Northern Tigers. The Cairns Tigers, I reckon we got their medal. Don't worry about that.
They're pretty good though.
Yeah, no, they're not that good. But I was going to, if you're going to go, they used to be, but last year was Aaron Davies' team won the Cairns League last year for Trinity Beach. No, was it Trinity? No, it was Clifton Beach. Yeah, Clifton Beach. I think they won the Bulldogs.
Do you remember the massive brawl that they had there with Lovell, the ex Sydney Swan and Essendon player, where they started that brawl? I mean, we're talking again 20 years ago.
20 years ago in Cairns,
Yeah, put football on the map up there for sure.
Yeah. Tone, the Tigers who you got this week? I know you're a big Tiger fan. I'm sure you're all over it.
I haven't checked this week. I'm not sure who we got this week, actually, to be honest.
Really?
Doesn't matter. They've got no Dusty. There's talk that he's going to retire, huh?
Yeah.
So
is he going to retire,
sad.
Tone?
Sorry?
Is Dusty going to retire? You know.
Oh, mate, I reckon. There's a lot of changes, I think, coming at the Tigers soon that, you know, haven't been mentioned. I think, I don't know, but I tend to think there'll be a few changes there. And
it was a good win last week against GWS, mate.
Yes, it was a good win. Is it not playing Hawthorn this week?
Nah, you're playing
the Blue Baggers.
You're playing St Kilda in the last game at Marvel, big boy.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh no, the second last game. The last claim's the Derby or the Derby or whatever you call it. West Coast and Freo.
I'm going to my game, is it?
What's
I've
that?
got tickets. I've got 3 tickets. I've booked them.
Carlton
all ready to
Hawks?
go. Yeah, Carlton Hawks. So I'm taking my son and one of his mates. So I got one of these little family memberships. So it's only for 5 games, but for 4 people.
Yeah.
And that way, what I tend to do is it's either myself, my daughter, my son, and a mate. Because the missus, she ain't into the footy, which is okay, but it's good for the kids. But when my daughter doesn't come, you know, I can either bring 2 of his mates or bring one of mine and stuff. And I just think that way we go to 5 games. It gives them a bit of an appetite.
Who does the daughter barrack for?
Look, she's not really into the footy. She does follow Carlton because it's part of the family. But the thing that I've done with both the kids, I'm not an MCC member, but a good friend was kind enough when Millie started at school to put her name down, and then she got Jonah's name down. So they're both on the list. Right. Millie's now been on it for 12 years. So she's only about 5 years away. And the reason I put her on is because she'll probably meet a bloke.
Yeah.
And she can always take him to the footy and impress him the other way. Or she's got her old man.
Yeah,
so I'm really
take that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I reckon we're you know, everyone's talking us up, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll
tell you, we're going to flog mate in the Pulte family. His name's Lenny. Real dickhead from Geelong, but one of my best mates. And I love him to death, but just a flog. And
Yep.
Lenny, I told him last year, because we were talking about how North's list, I was trying to explain to him that demographic, like the age group and all that, our list is better than Carlton. And he was telling me, oh, you're a fucking idiot, Pez. It's all about wins. And I'm like, yeah, okay, right. But I tell you what, there were 2 blokes that I told him I'd take, and I'm nearly going to go to 3 now.
Go on, who are they?
Right. So, of course, I made a joke that I'd take, Kenny Hunter and, Rod Ashman and all these blokes. And he's like, Pez, shut up, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's when you were good. That's right. And then,
Yeah.
no, but I tell you what, I love Sammy Walsh, the way he plays
Yeah.
footy.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a young Robert Harvey with a touch
Yeah.
more skill, which is incredible. And a
And he
touch
doesn't
more,
punt.
no, what champ. And I love Big Mackay. Like round 1, Tone, Big Mackay kicked 1 goal. Big Benny, Harry, or whatever. We got Benny,
Yeah,
haven't we?
Harry,
We've got Harry, Big H.
Yeah.
So the big full forward, Tone, he's a man amongst boys. And he played against a man in round 1, and Robbie Tarrant, who played for North, went to Richmond trying to chase a bit of glory. But kept him to 1 because Robbie Tarrant's a big body, experienced defender. I don't know why he hasn't been an All-Australian fullback at least once. But anyway, that's bias, of course.
Yeah.
Last week against the Bulldogs, there's no Robbie Tarrant, mate. He was amazing. He could have kicked 15. If Carlton went to a 1-out, 1 approach, if you just open it up and let him patrol, there's no one that was going with Mackay last week. I know he kicked 5, but he would have kicked
playing
15.
up the field more.
Hey?
But he's going up the field because we've got Curnow now.
Yeah.
Harry's going further up.
Mm.
So he's pushing further up and taking those marks and,
Yeah.
and breaking those packs as well for
But
for
did
some
you,
of our
see, did
smaller.
you see him just sort of stand there? And blokes
Yeah,
are
he
trying to hit the ball. It was like a man ago. It was like under 6s. And I'm thinking,
he's,
if you were doing a carries like a Pagan's paddock,
Yep.
he would have kicked 30. Like he would have been Plugger back in the middle 90s, who was just out of control.
Who's
Like,
your
I'm
third?
really keen.
Who's your third?
Well, he didn't play last week because of COVID or whatever you want to call it, but I didn't rate that Sarah from Freo, but I reckon he goes really well too.
Yeah.
He's a lot better than I thought because we never saw him because we're
That's
watching
the
the
thing. We
Victorian
only,
games. And
that's exactly right.
geez, he was a
Yeah.
lot better than I thought. Wow.
Well, it's good because look, can you smell what we were cooking? Then we were
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
And finally we may have got the recipe all together. So it'd be nice. It's
And
good for us.
I kept telling my mate Lenny, you need a bit of hardness around the pill, and I don't care who you are. Because look at the Tigers, they're rabid. Then you got the Brisbane Lions midfield with Zorko and Mitch Robertson,
Yeah.
all them Ferrells.
Yep.
Carlton never had that hardness around the footy because Cripps is always crippled. You're not
Yep.
going to call in the hard men of Gibbs and Murphy and all them. Fuck.
No, you're right. You're right.
Soft as butter. But now you got all these sort of younger blokes that are putting their head over it. Like, how good's Matthew Kennedy? He looks like Chris Judd.
Yeah, well, Bam Bam. I mean, when we got him originally, because we got him from, what was it? Not the Gold Coast, GWS.
Yeah.
He struggled to cement himself a position.
Mate, I thought
But
he
I
was
think-
done. I thought he was gone.
Oh, look, I always liked him. I guess there was a bit of a thing on his pace, but when you get the pill and you're putting your head over the pill, you don't have to be that quick. I mean, look at Diesel Williams.
But how good's
If you
his
got
first
quick
2
hands,
weeks?
But no,
Diesel.
over 30 possessions. But Voss, because of the type of player that he was,
Yeah.
and I think if he's instilling that, so
Well,
Matty Kennedy.
David Teague's never going to inspire as a player because he was
No.
hopeless. And because I
Well-
knew because he played at North.
Yeah, but he was
So-
all right at Carlton. He was all right
Yeah.
with us. Half back, flowing blonde locks. He wasn't that bad. But
He
anyway,
was
you're right.
horrible.
Yeah, your point. So was
But-
Mark Arsieri. At North Melbourne.
But I think, no, Carlton, I don't know. I'm sort of getting excited. I like watching them play because I like the way they play. Tone, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Tony, you been
Yeah.
watching a bit of footy, mate?
Oh, I've only just watched a couple of replays and that, but yeah, I watched that game against Carlton. They're awesome. Carlton
Yeah.
are looking good, and they're going to go a long way this year, I think. They're not. They're like you said, they've got that spark back, and they move the ball really well. They control the ball. Once they get it out of the centre, it's gone. If you're not there, they're gonna destroy you this year, I reckon.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
really
I read that Cripps, he's lost 8 kegs And someone like Rossi Lyon comes out and says, I had a talk with Fife and I told him, you're looking a bit fat. You've got to lose a bit of weight. Like fair dinkum. I hope Rossi Lyon doesn't come on this show, Tone. We're in a lot of trouble.
Hey,
If you're telling Cripps
It'll be-
to lose your fat and you got to lose 8 kegs, holy shit, what's he going to say about us, Tone?
Oh God, we're in trouble.
All right, boys.
Now,
Well done,
before,
Carlton.
hang on, Pezza, before we
Right.
go, just one thing that I want to put out there.
Mm.
If anyone is betting in the Metropolitan or the country track of Bendigo, sorry, I should say, there's a horse racing there that Gay Waterhouse trains, Riadoni. Now, last year, this thing ran second behind Very Elegant when it found the lead.
Mm. What's
Do
it
you reckon
called?
it might be able to? Do you reckon it might be able to find the lead at Bendigo?
What's it called?
I mean,
Sorry.
it should. Riadoni.
Riadoni. Right. Yep.
I don't know. I might have a bet at Bendigo, and I might have a bet on it because
Mm.
if they're leading, what do you reckon? Do you reckon
Yeah.
it's a chance?
Yeah.
Gay Waterhouse, Bendigo, when there's Sydney Glamour races, and this horse, second to Very Elegant, is running at Bendigo.
Mm.
I don't get it.
Smells.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's
Mm.
either going to be poo in my face or poo in everyone else's.
So, thoughts, mate? You got anything before we go?
No, mate, I've got nothing special this week. No, nothing. I just think that I will say this week, I think if we happen to get the first 3 legs in the quad, we're in with a big chance and it could pay an absolute wad. Up there on the wet track, they're all trying, they're all good horses. It's a really tough power packed action card up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, if we get it, it's going to pay all right.
I reckon we're a certainty to get 3 legs. I just don't know about mine.
Mm.
Because I'm the quad dud. The reality is, it's true, isn't it?
Ah,
If you-
no, mate. No.
If you were to look at the numbers, the truth is, it's my leg that's let the team down, isn't it?
Yes. It's
all right. It is. It's,
If we're gonna, if we're gonna be
if
honest,
we're going to be serious,
yeah.
you know what I mean? I am the best. Look, I'm happy to wear it because being the best individual tipster in the group, I'm happy. I'm happy to accept that I'm the shittest quaddie picker in the group. No
We
comment,
can't
Pezza.
dispute
No,
that at the moment, can we, Pez? We can't dispute you're the tipster at the moment.
Talking about COVID, and Tone was telling me a couple of jokes the other day about it. You want to hear a zinger before we go? I know Rosie likes a zinger.
Yes.
All right.
Tone told me the other day that the pony he was talking to went to the doctor, and he told the doctor, he goes, I think I'm dying. I have a really terrible sore throat, the pony said to the doctor.
Ooh.
And the doctor assured him, it's okay. You're just a little horse.
Oh, very good. Very good. You know what? I'm taking that one to work.
My joke. That's not
I
my
don't
joke.
care.
Trying to be more racist.
I know. That's why I can't give it. Yeah.
Pezza, I'm taking that one to work tomorrow.
Well, when the pony says to the doctor, I've got a sore throat, he says, it's okay. You're just a little horse. It's pretty safe. I don't think we're going to offend too many ponies in the workplace.
No, I'm taking it to work.
All right. Cheers, boys. Well done.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we all win. Hopefully North get over Brisbane at the Gabba. The Tigers get over the Saints in the big game of the round on Sunday. But of course, hopefully Tassie gets to see Big H just go fucking berserk against the Hawks. And the Hawks are going all right. They're 2-zip, unbeaten. Game of the round.
And the
Over the table.
golden flag will be flying, the Blue Army.
Yeah.
Taz will be there.
Yeah. It's good to see that all these, cases against children, about abuse and, mental and psychological abuse are starting to get thrown out the window because Carlton are starting to win a few games. There are a lot of complaints
Hey,
from kids
you know how you're saying
about their
you know how you're
parents
saying
telling
that.
them who to barrack for.
it's interesting. It's interesting you say that because you know what is also starting to happen. Doctors are starting to write more antidepressant scripts again for all the Richmond supporters because they're going up and down again.
Yeah, the
So it's the same
Tigers.
sort of thing.
Yeah,
Not you, Tone. Not you, because you're in Japan.
I
So
tell
it's
you
not
what,
you,
if
but a lot of my friends.
I tell you what, if
Oh, that-
Dusty says I'm not going to come back, I tell you what, there's going to be a fucking hell. I wish you had steal a couple of prescription pads, Tone. You'll be able to make out a bit of money, I tell you.
Well, he might step away and he could be in Sydney in 2 years' time.
Yeah, that's right. All right, boys, take it easy. Good luck on
Thanks,
Saturday. What a
guys.
day in Sydney. Absolutely magical. Let's just hope the weather improves so we can get a fair track and a little bit of cool racing because, you know, what a day. Doncaster, TJ Smith.
Oh.
You've got the Derby. You got the lead up to the Sydney Cups. You got the sprints. It's a magical day this week in Sydney. It really is. And let's hope the weather finally breathes a bit of life into New South Wales racing because, geez, they've had a terrible trot. So,
They have. Yeah, they're due for a good one.
all right, boys, take it easy.
All right. Yep.
Cheers, thanks.